everyone. This is Dana once again. We're still in the series of working from home and life lessons. So these are the lessons that we learn out from life, especially since we are in quarantine. Now, we're already on the second episode, and this episode is called Planning. Now, before I begin with this discussion, I'd like to send my apologies for yesterday, because if you watched the video yesterday, you realize that I was kind of redundant because I was saying the words probably and especially so many times, way too much, that I felt that I was too repetitive. I was not really into what I need to say, so please accept my apologies for that. Now, what I did was in congruent or in association with what I have planned to say, I've planned and organize my thoughts so that I will not be as redundant as I was yesterday. Okay, so we now begin with our episode on planning. So what do we need to do as we plan? So the PBA, this is the acronym that I'm going to introduce to you right now. PBA, for a lot of Filipinos, is very, very familiar because it stands for Philippine Basketball Association. You know, in the Philippines, basketball becomes such a national sport that everybody loves to watch the games every so often. Now, instead of talking about basketball, we're going to talk about planning using this acronym. Now, we are going to start with the first one, which is the letter P. Now, P stands for preparing. Now, what do we need to prepare? So, part of what we need to prepare would have to be the materials that we're going to use, the facilities. Also, we're going to try to plan for the budget that we can use as we do our project. So we have to make sure that the materials that we need would be readily available, and also we have enough budget to work on that project, and we have enough facilities, enough stuff that we have inside our homes as we do the project that we have at hand. So why is it important to prepare? It's all because of the fact that as we do what we need to do, we do not want to miss out on anything. We might be so raring to go and do our project, but if we're not ready, if we're all of a sudden the thing that we need to have would not be readily available, then we might not be able to complete our project fully. So it is important always to be prepared, be very aggressive in trying to know what are the things that you need to have before you start your project. Okay, so that's preparing. The next one is building your network. So why is it important for us to build our network? You have to remember that the more people you know, the more clients or customers will come and appreciate your service or your business. So you need to know first who your target market would be. Are you targeting housewives? Are you targeting people in the electronic industry? If you're offering services like troubleshooting, or are you targeting career people if you're selling something like perfumes, or you're selling cosmetics, or you might be selling maybe food. You also would like to check if as you try to build your network, if people are already aware of the services that you provide. Now, how do we build our network? Now, of course, even our own homes, even in our own homes, you already have a network, and that would be our family. So the first people who would really appreciate what we do or what we sell, what service we provide would always be our family. So for instance, you plan to do a home catering service, and you start off with planning your meal. So let's just say, for example, it's lunchtime or dinner time, and you cooked your meal for the family. So what you do is you take a photo of the meals that you have cooked and try to ask your family how well they appreciate what you have cooked for them, how tasty, how delicious it is. Because trust me, when other people see that on your social media platforms and how delicious your food was, how presentable or how inviting your food was, then people will start sharing your pictures. People will then be interested in whatever services or whatever items that you're going to be offering them. So make sure that you build your network. So, you know, it's word of mouth. When they like your services, when they like the products that you have promoted to them, then it will easily catch up on everyone. So build your network through your friends, your family, your relatives, and all of this will spread like wildfire. So make sure that you know what these products are for, what it would do for them, how it would help them to be better, how it would help them to look better, to feel better about themselves. So that's letter B, build your network. And the last one that we're going to talk about would be anticipating. So that's A for anticipating. When you anticipate, you need to be ready for whatever things that you were not able to prepare for the first time. So anticipate the questions that might arise in the products that you sell or the services that you provide. Anticipate the inquiries that might come along. How would you be able to answer those inquiries, whether it's on a social media network or by phone? Anticipate maybe the complaints that you'll be receiving, some things that people are not happy about with your product or your services. You have to remember that it may be true that we try to do the best that we can in everything that we do and every service that we provide, but we still cannot please everybody. So make sure that you already anticipate these kind of scenarios so that you will not be surprised when these events happen. It's always handy to know or to expect what's out there that you were not so prepared for. Now, remember all these things that I shared to you, and remember that there will be times when it's really true that you cannot be prepared too much. I mean, there's really not enough preparation, there's not enough planning, but it's better that way than to not really know what you're going to do if any kind of incident will ever arise. There is a famous quote that I learned out when I was teaching, that when you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. And it's really true in any industry, in any profession, that when we do not get ourselves ready for what's to come ahead of us, then we might be caught flat on our faces because we did not plan what we're supposed to do. So make sure that you are ready for everything that would come your way. Now, at the end of it, I know that all of us would like to earn, and like every one of us would like to be able to survive in this situation that we're in. But more than trying to get an income, or more than trying to get a decent living from the things that we are capable of doing, from our skills and from our talents. It's much more of what we are willing to do to be able to fulfill our project. How much sacrifice or how much willing are we to really do our projects? How much willing are we to do the best that we can to be able to survive this crisis that we are now in. So it's really is very essential that we plan the things that we need to do from the onset, because otherwise we might just be caught up in a loop. We might be lost. We might not be able to know where we're going. So it really always pays to plan ahead of time. Okay, so thank you everyone for listening. I hope that you learned something out from whatever it is that I've shared for today. And well, I hope that you don't see that I did not really sleep well. Just to give you a little bit of a background, yesterday as I was doing my project, I was kind of frantic about that thought of me finishing my project on time, that thought of being overwhelmed with how huge this project is going to be. So I've somehow lost sleep because I was overwhelmed with everything. I thought I was already halfway through the first thing that I'm supposed to do, but I realized there's still so much that I still need to do. So there's part of me that was very anxious. There was a part of me that was very agitated as to what to expect and how I'm going to be able to do what I have to do. So it's the same thing for every one of us. We need to really stay strong and hang on to whatever it is that we think we need to accomplish, we need to achieve. Believe that everything is possible if you have God with you. I've talked to my support group for assistance or for some prayers so that I can go through this crisis that I have right now, because if truth be told, there's part of me that's really, really anxious as to whether I can do this task the way it was given to me. So I hope that whoever is listening right now, there are any listeners, any viewers of this vlog, you would also go with me in praying that I will be able to finish this project on time and be able to accomplish what I need to do. Okay, so again, thank you everyone for sticking out with me, for giving your time and listening and watching this series on working from home and the lessons that we learn out from life. Okay, thank you everyone again, and God bless you.